Oh, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Ferdinand Atlantic Studios. Your host, Joe, that's me, and some guy, Ed. How you doing, Ed?
You know what? Like, as much as I really wanted to win this year, I'm not even mad. Oh shit! Sorry, my audio.
I'll start. You're changed because you're lying. You're about to lie. I don't care how you feel. Y'all thought I was dead. Y'all thought I was dead. No,
can I tell you why I'm not mad? The Bengals are doing it for all the other small market franchises. Like, I never thought the Bengals would be in this position. Like, I fucking love it. Like, again, I was hate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna guess it. Okay, I'll tell you the whole journey. Firstly, I didn't I thought they could make the playoffs, but I didn't have conviction to put them in my 7 AFC teams. In our work fantasy league, no one picked up Jamar Chase, and I picked him up as a free agent, and he did bits for me. Then, obviously, we got to the playoffs. You were much more high on them than I was, which is completely fair. We're both really high on O-line, and maybe I was overrating how shit they were. I mean, they fucking conceded 9 sacks in a game. You stuck with them. I was a bit like, oh, come on. Like, they're surely going to lose one way or another. One possession game against the Raiders. They had the ball. The Raiders had the ball and the Bengals, within their 30. They managed to get out with interception. Fair play. Against the Titans disappointed. Offense wasn't up to scratch. Bengals got it in one possession game again. Fair play. Chiefs, one possession game as well. Again, fair play. They stuck out at the end. Chiefs offense spluttered a little bit at the end, and their defense couldn't do shit for a little while. Fair play to them. If they win it, I would love it. It will be an amazing story, and it'll give me a Jags fan hope. However, it will be a bit of an L for me in terms of what we're doing here on Third and Atlantic. I had 3 out of the 4 teams going in to the last 4, and yeah.
So, I mean, the same thing happened last year for you, but it was in the divisional round, if I'm not mistaken, in which all my wild cards, pretty much, apart from like one, got dropped that weekend, and the next weekend it flipped. I would say, obviously, as a rival, it kind of hurts. It's bittersweet. Obviously, I want to win in everything that I do, so I want them to win. But if they do win, then what does that mean for the Steelers and and that kind of stuff? And you don't really want your rival to win. They were my underdog pick during the. They were the team that could do well, but they maybe not make it all the way. But they'll knock out a few teams on the way. You get what I mean? Like, so
yeah. No, we had it. Mine was the 49ers. Yours were the Bengals. That I thought could sneakily do quite well. A funny point you made there, actually, being rivals. If you were to look at the AFC North and be like, okay, rank them in terms of 1 to 4, most likely to make the playoffs. Before the season, you probably would have went, I don't know, Ravens, Browns, 1 or 2, however you want to do that. Steelers 3rd, Bengals 4th. No, that's how you would have done those rankings.
I mean, I would have done Steelers over Browns, but once again, that's a rivalry.
Okay, it's whatever.
So it was kind of, they literally went from worst to first, but not like the worst in the league, but they went from worst to first, if you get what I mean. But they had 4 wins, and then they turned it around.
They had a top 5 pick. I think they did have who did they pick up? Was it Penei Sewell? Yeah, I think they had Penei Sewell.
No, everyone was telling them to pick up Penei Sewell.
Oh, they picked Jamar. They picked Jamar. Yes, because Penei Sewell went to the Lions. Yeah.
Why do you need receivers? Like, why do you need receivers? And they were stuck.
That's how much it happened over a year ago. That's how much was embedded in my head that Penei Sewell was going to the Bengals. That's how much was embedded in my head.
Unfortunately, he went to the dead Lions, and then his career. You never know if you're going to see him again, but. Yeah.
Hey, with how the Bengals going, you never know. Jared Goff is a Super Bowl quarterback. He's made it before.
No, but he made it with Sean McVay.
Yeah, I know.
These are very different things. No,
I know.
I think right now everyone is in agreement that Jared Goff was the problem. Like, I think by now we've all seen and we've taken note of how.
Why'd you have to shit on the guy? Why can't you just be like Matthew Stafford was the answer rather than Jared Goff was not the answer?
Because 2 things are true.
Was the problem?
2 things are true, right? So Jared Goff was the problem with the Rams, but then the same Matthew Stafford that we're seeing now play for a Super Bowl was in Detroit for 10 years, something like that. So 2 things can be true. Goff can be the problem, and so are the Lions. And you put 2 problems together, they ain't never making it out alive. That's just what it is.
Yeah. So we obviously started speaking a bit about the Bengals, and I was quite, I was quite dismissive of them when we're talking about the Final Four. I'm like, Joel, the Bengals are just here to make numbers. Like, they scraped it, or not scraped, but one possession game against the Raiders, one possession game against the Titans.
Yeah,
they just did enough.
Not many people had them making it through the Chiefs, and that's just yeah.
And one of the things that all the smart football people tell you, all the real hardcore NFL bettors tell you, is that when you're looking for teams to make the step from one year to another, one metric to look at is close possession games. Teams that lose those close possession games, it tends to flip to them the year after, just because it's never consistent. The ball can bounce one way or another and completely flip a game. So that's like a key metric they use to see how a team does 1 year compared to another. Yep. Using that logic in terms of how the Bengals are doing, they just had these the last 2 games were one possession games, thinking surely not, they can't do this all the way through to win in LA. But fair play to them. They're not here just to make up the numbers. And Joe Burrow is here to take hearts in the Super Bowl in LA. Oh, what story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can go into the story for a bit, but I'm going to say they're in kind of the similar position again as they were the last couple of games. Not obviously with the Chiefs, not obviously with the Raiders. They had the Chiefs, and who they had before that? The Titans. So they were in 2 games in which they were viewed as the vast underdog. Not just like they put it out like everyone was pretty much writing these other teams to move on. And they're in the same position now going into the Super Bowl, with the Rams viewed as a super team, effectively, like the closest to a super team you can get in the NFL, because 2 people, Von Miller, Odell Beckham Jr., were both seen as kind of the end of their careers, looking like they're not where they're supposed to be. They're kind of squad players at this point. They were viewed at before the season, and they've shown glimpses of who they were beforehand. Odell Beckham has completely turned his narrative around. Von Miller can come in and be great in certain situations and put in a good shift for you. Yeah. And so they've all turned around kind of viewpoints on them this season as well.
Yeah, and again, it's not just this year that they've been going all in every season. They gave so that's the first probably move that they made, which is them sort of going all in, was the Jalen Ramsey trade, right?
Yeah,
and that was the 2 first rounders, which on the face of it, you're like, Jalen Ramsey for 2 first rounders and 2 second and some other late round picks. You're like, oh shit, like you never really see those sort of hauls for players, especially not in the NFL. Like you see it maybe a bit more in the NBA, but not in the NFL. And do you know what those players ended up being?
No.
Josh Allen? Pardon?
Josh Allen?
No. Josh Allen wasn't. Caleb Von Chason was one, and the other one, was a guy we took late first round again. Didn't do too much either. So we traded an all-pro, best cornerback in the league for 2 first-round players who ain't done shit. And that sort of vindicated their decision. They were, oh shit, you know what, this could work. Picked up Ndamukong Suh as a free agent, didn't have the necessary trade for him, so they're giving him sort of money rather than assets. And then they traded Matthew Stafford for assets. And then they went and got Odell Beckham and Von Miller for, Odell Beckham both of them were trade assets, but not that much. But it was more cap.
No, Odell was cut, wasn't he? Odell was cut by the Browns. So they got
it was more money, financial things, rather than anything else. So they've been going all in for a little while, and you know what? It's been working. They made 2 Super Bowls in that time, and I think a lot more teams might be doing that.
And Odell cut by the Browns, Super Bowl 1 year later. Matthew Stafford traded by the Lions, Super Bowl 1 year later.
Not 1 year later, in that year.
Sorry, in that year. Technically, I mean, it's a week out, so we'll give him that.
And then Von Miller within the year as well.
Within the year traded as well. So like, these are people that have come in. Like, so obviously when your team is trading the superstars, be careful. They may not be. It may be a motivation thing. I don't know, but something is not clicking. Maybe check your backroom staff first before you say that these guys are bums. Because how many times is this going to happen?
It's not a surprise that good players do well when they play with other good players. It's not a surprise that Von Miller is let loose when people have to double team Aaron Donald in the center. And that is where I worry the most for the Bengals. It's bad enough a good O-line has to trying to stop Aaron Donald and then Von Miller coming around the edge.
I think it plays more in their favor. Now, hear me out.
Okay, here we go.
Conventional wisdom will tell you, will tell me particularly, relax. Like, this is going to be done. However, this line has not held up against good people. As in, it has not held up against bad people, even like bad pass rushing teams. There's been a lot of sacks. Now, this is against an amazing pass rushing team or line, let's say, front seven. And now, when they get beat or something, they're not dropping their heads because they thought they were going to be great. So now they're going up against a big Aaron Donald and they thought they were going to be good. So now it's not a motivational thing, right? So they could carry on playing until the end, this line, because they're not expecting to beat Aaron Donald every play anyway. But then also, this team has shown that when they give up these large max amount of sack numbers, 9 sacks, they're still able to win, play on, and carry on going. So now that's an attitude thing as well. So now the motivation won't drop. The attitude is they're always still in it. And I'm just saying, it's something to bet on. That's what you can look at. You get what I mean? It can be done. The bad line play will not kill them.
Oof. Okay. So 2 things. Firstly, if I set the over and under as 5 sacks that the Bengals will concede, are you taking the over or the under?
Smart money, 5 sacks is a lot. 5 sacks is a lot. What is it, 5.5?
I don't know. I literally just made that number up. But whilst you ever think a mull of that, let me actually check if there is a line for this, because there must be.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, right? Before we pick over or under, I'm gonna say is the amount of sacks will not phase this team. If they do give up sacks, it'll be like it was expected. Now what can we do? And also, they are used to giving up a high sack amount. If we go by on paper, they should give up more than 5 sacks this game. They should, if we go on paper. So your money, if you had to put money behind it, the money is on the over.
All right, give me 2 seconds. I think I'm finding it now.
I low key think though, right, that because it's a Super Bowl, they may tighten up and they may like play out of their minds. Like part of that is kind of the occasion. Now they're going to step up to the occasion. The question really is, who does Ramsey cover most of the night? Because that will tell you how these sack numbers are going to come about, or how
it'll probably be Jamal. It'll probably be one-on-one with Jamal. Which the reason why I'm worried for the Bengals is a purely numbers perspective. They're going to have to double team Aaron Donald. They're going to have to have one of their better O linemen on Von Miller, and Jamar Chase is going to be one-on-one with Jalen Ramsey most of the game. You're assuming, unless Rams play zone coverage and have play cover 2, and they got a safety up there as well. Maybe. Tyler Eifert is obviously a big weapon for them. No, Tyler Eifert is on the Rams. Is he out? Is he officially out?
No. Tyler Eifert on the Rams.
Who's the tight end for the Bengals? It's the other
Uzama.
That guy.
There's been no word on him, and I promise you, there will be no word until that game, bro. There will be no word. He is going to try and force to play this game no matter what. The question
is purely from a numbers perspective, it's like it's hard to match up. But
I obviously listened to Big Shay Sharp before this. He said the backup, as long as Uzama ain't going, right, the backup tight end ain't scaring no one. So he said put Jalen on T. Higgins, right, because that's the kind of receiver Jalen likes, and then play exotic on the back end over Jamar, right? And then obviously switch it up every now and then, because Jamar is you're not gonna let Jamar run free. He's not gonna escape this game without a few one-on-one matchups. However, you can lock if Jalen, obviously, T. Higgins is the kind of receiver that Jalen does the best against. You get what I mean? So he said lock him down. If he's out, you're forced to go to Chase. Now, if our coverage is rolling to Chase, that will work. And now we're playing 2 against 1. As long as that backup tight end doesn't play out of his mind and he doesn't believe he will. And then he obviously, every now and then, go a bit wild and just mix up and throw whatever in there to, keep him honest.
That is a good point. I like that because, as you said, actually, it becomes what is the best defensive option to stop someone? Is it to double team them or have Jalen Ramsey on them? And if the best option is to double team them, cool, makes sense. Double team Chase, corner there, safety there. How are you going to do that? And then one-on-one T. Higgins with Jalen. Cool, that actually makes sense. I like that. I like that it works. But that's why I feel worried for the Bengals.
That works the best if Uzama isn't playing. The reason why Uzama works so well in that thing is because of how you can't cover everyone. That defense really only works because that defense I just said, your tight end can go wild. Say your tight end is George Kittle, your tight end is Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
They're having over 150 yards easy.
People Jones or someone needs to come into the slot, and they have to be the who's that Bills guy? Gabriel, was that the name? Gabriel, who got like 3 touchdowns for the Bills against the Chiefs.
But
Who just went off because
the problem is T. Higgins is meant to be that guy. T. Higgins is meant to be your guy, so that's why it offsets it a little bit. Because T. Higgins is the closest to a tight end in which you would be actually scared of really playing the tight end position as a wide out.
Jalen did get. I mean, I know it's Mike Evans. Mike Evans did body bag him a couple times, but it is Mike Evans,
and Jalen will give you he will give you some. You just have to know when. That's
the sort of not often.
But it will happen.
I maybe saw that once or twice. That Jags someone else, and that was. Do you know who that was?
Brady?
No, in terms of receiver. Do you know which receiver sort of killed him a couple times? Your boy, AB. Back in the day, yeah. And again, it was just because he was an absolute beast, and he's much of a quicker receiver, which Jalen I think struggles with a bit more.
Yeah, I'm not saying Jalen will give you a whole game. I'm just saying he'll give you 1 or 2 plays within the game in which he may gamble, or it's not like he switches off. But what is it like? You're not throwing to his side, and he did have good coverage, and then the play extends a bit more than so. He has to do that second look.
Brady did really well with Evans to play to Evans' strengths. Get high over Jalen. He's a big body. He'll catch it over Jalen. He's 6'5". They did really well to play his strengths. When Tyreek Hill a couple of times went against Jalen, did really well against strength. Speed at him, run at him, did really well. But
but when those time comes, you'll get maybe 1 or 2 a game. When those times come, you better be paying attention as a receiver, and that ball better come out, and it better come out correctly.
Quickly want to touch on the other team in the NFC. So we spoke a bit about the Chiefs, Bengals, and how just the Chiefs sort of splattered there a little bit, and really disappointing from a Chiefs perspective. And then from the NFC side, when that guy dropped that pick, oh my days. I'm like, oh, that's it. They fucked it. The 49ers have absolutely fucked it. That was the moment.
Okay, what is it with these DB? Everyone the joke is, there's a reason why they're not receivers. Blah, blah, blah. But when the ball is too easy to pick off, what goes on there?
I sympathize with that, because sometimes when things come too easy, you're a bit like, there's a catch here. Something doesn't make sense. I've got serious trust issues. I'm like,
but
catch something's not something. No, but it was too easy. It was like something isn't right here.
But catch the ball. If you get blasted, you get blasted. But catch the ball. That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks to recover.
No one is as disappointed as the geezer. I forgot his name. No one is as disappointed as him. No fan is as disappointed as him. No one is as disappointed as him on that. But yeah,
obviously the fans will forget about this in a couple of years, but he'll be living through that forever. Say he never makes it again to a Super Bowl. So again, say he never makes it to Super Bowl. He'll be thinking about that one catch forever. But say the 49ers can make it. Say they get rid of him for some reason, or he's in a trade or something like that. He will think about that forever.
Yeah, and then so that was Jimmy G. He's fucking I think his family's out of there. Gosh, the 49ers, they were going to be a good shout, but Jimmy G let them down at the end a little bit. Jimmy G always gives you a chance in a game. He always gives you a chance.
It's surprising he got as far as he did. Everyone thought by this point in the year Trey Lance would be taken over anyway. But the way that he's come all the way up to now still makes you believe that they're not too sure on Trey. However, everyone said their goodbyes and all that, but we haven't been seeing Trey towards the end of the season like we did with Patrick, good old Patty Mahomes.
He played the last game of the season.
Yeah, when he played the full last game of the season, but they were still Alex Smith played all right, he played well. They still thought they were going to end out the season, and they just threw him in, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, it's just that one piece, I'll give you the biggest piece that's missing for them, because they seem to have everything else fine. Everything else sorted, but yeah. And that left us with the Rams. Now, we spoke about Rams defense versus Bengals offense. And let's quickly flip it over. Bengals defense versus Rams offense. Matthew Stafford, obviously he's got a cannon. He's got some weapons all around the gaff. Bengals defense, again, they showed up against the Chiefs. They played this dropped coverage, 3-man rush. Trey Hendrickson could still do a job. Calm.
It looked a bit shaky at the beginning, but they tightened up eventually, and they put on a clinic for the rest of it. And they got the stop in overtime, in which people were saying, change the rules.
Yeah. I get both sides for it. Like, of course, he's like, you want to touch the ball, you don't want to. Yeah, but again, it's defense. Defense is 50% of the game. You can't make a stop. You can't make a stop.
The other guys get paid too. That's what it is. The other guys get paid too, so they have to earn the money sometimes.
And it's less than 50% because you forget about special teams. Defense isn't 50%. It's less than 50% of the game.
33.
Oh, okay, 33. I wouldn't say 33. I wouldn't call special teams 33%.
So everyone's not doing a third.
No, that's not true. What would you say?
The special teams coordinators are telling you that it's a third of the game.
I think it's more 40-40-20. I think that's fair. 40-40-20.
I'll give you that. Unless you have someone like a Tyreek Hill or a Hardman ready to return it. Like Devin Hester would argue that your maths is incorrect as well.
And to be fair, kickers will argue that as well, especially this playoffs, with every single game decided by a possession, and most of them were decided by a field goal.
Evan McPherson, I think he's already broken one record. Coming into this, so you'll see if
Florida Gator,
the rest of them.
Florida Gator, shout out Florida, bang bang.
Aren't they your rivals? But okay, shout out your boys then.
No, we don't have a football team. North Florida don't have a football team.
I mean, but it's college.
No, but we don't have we're a small college. We know we're a small college, and we're more an affiliate. Our rivals are Jacksonville, University of Jacksonville. They're a private school. They're called the Dolphins, so they're our local rivals.
Ooh, that's horrible.
And I think JU, but JU is the name of it. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was just saying that I was going to come up to he'll look to break some more. If he breaks the records, I'm calling it now. If he breaks all the records that is on the record watch right now, Bengals win.
Do you know what the other storyline with Evan McPherson is?
No.
That he was drafted as a kicker, and obviously that used to be a thing. You're not supposed to draft kickers, but he was drafted as a kicker, and now sort of like copycat league. It's like, oh shit, they drafted a kicker, and look at the bits he's doing. Shit, maybe he needs to draft a kicker next year. And watch, I think I'm going to say 3 kickers get drafted this year.
3 kickers, not including punters. Yeah,
no, just kickers. Because fucking Geezer was drafted last year, and like he's doing bits, and now I'm just like, oh, you know what? Like, we need to copy what the Bengals, especially the Bengals win the Super Bowl. Shit, what did the Bengals do? We need to copy exactly. They got a receiver. Cool, let's get in a quick receiver. What, they made it without an O-line? Yeah, we don't need an O-line. Maybe they might drop a little bit. Oh, they picked up a kicker. Oh, yeah, let's pick up a kicker. They signed a pass rusher who was okay, who did well in another system, but he's now, let's get some more pass rush. That's definitely going to happen.
I mean, fair enough. I think that logic not logic, but the kind of drafting a kicker works. I think some kickers should be drafted. You just have to know which ones should.
That's
which is the game. That's the game. But everyone puts it down to, if say a few people drafted bad kickers, right? Suddenly that position gets exiled from the draft.
Exactly.
Like, no one should draft it.
Exactly.
It's just some people were in that same draft pool that should have got drafted. You just didn't.
Same with running backs. It's like, shit, don't need to draft running backs in the first round. You can get them in the second, third round. They'll be elite. The 2 fucking Jonathan Taylor's an MVP contention for this year. He was a second, third round draft pick. I remember did
amazing his first contract, fourth pick. Sorry.
My Jags really wanted my Jags boys were like, shit, we really should have got Jonathan Taylor. We should have got Jonathan Taylor later rounds. Fucking end up turning into a beast. The one before that, Derrick Henry, was a second round pick.
Yeah.
Who were the last two pick in the first 10 picks? I think it must have been Ezekiel Elliott and Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
I bet both franchises
I think Saquon is really more marketing now than performance. I think, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I think both franchises wish they could have that over again.
I think Zeke provided them very good years. They just wasted.
Yeah, cool.
That's what I'll go with that.
They would have taken Jalen Ramsey over Zeke if they had a do-over. Because
fair enough.
He went for Jalen Ramsey. Oh fuck, I forgot Leonard Fournette as well. Yeah. He was a top 5 pick.
Super Bowl winner. Playoff Lenny.
Yeah. playoff, Lenny. Yeah. Anyway,
where did he get drafted to? The Jets.
Leonard Fournette.
Oh, I'm bugging. Oh yeah,
He beat you in a
Jags.
Super Bowl game.
Jags,
He beat you in a Super Bowl game, just so you don't forget that.
Wasn't he at the Jets,
Super Bowl
though?
playoff game?
Am I bugging?
No.
Why
Jags.
am I seeing him in the Jets uniform in my head?
I think you're thinking of Le'Veon for some reason.
No, I was actually thinking for that. I really thought he went to the Jets for some reason. Anyway.
Anyway, Jets and Jags, same shit. Yeah. Like they ain't gonna.
Fair enough.
So, with that being said, I just had a look. Whilst I was looking at the sacks, I couldn't find it, but I did find the spread for this game. Can you guess what the spread for this game is?
It's 7.5 Rams.
Well, way too high. 4.5.
Oh, 4. I knew it was over a field goal. I knew it was that. And I thought, no, Rams, I think they've betted it down. I think they've betted it down, you know. I think it was 5.5. I
think everyone's loving this this Bengals story. Everyone loves Joe Burrows. Everyone loves just Bengals at this point. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Why not the Bengals? Any closing thoughts on the matchup? Of course, you've got your team who you drafted. I've got my team that I drafted, so I've still got the Rams in the race. Yep. You've got the Bengals.
I think Skip was right in this one. OBJ has the most star power going into this matchup, but Joe Burrow has the most. Like his stock would increase the most and become the biggest star coming out of the Super Bowl if they win, especially if it's a tight game.
First bit. To Odell Beckham thing, that's not something profound. If you were to do the whole NFL, Odell will probably be top 5.
It's not profound. It's not profound. But remember, his star was diminishing. He was seen as just a marketing guy last year. Let's not forget. People thought he was a wash player. People thought he was.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But yeah. Okay.
But I think he's done the most to regain the stock back this year.
Okay, that's different. Yeah. Okay.
No, but that and going into the game, he is the most star power on the bill.
He definitely is most star power, which isn't anything profound.
Joe Burrow had the chance to leave the game as the highest star. Like if Joe Burrow wins this game, he may never need to play a game again. Okay. That's how deep.
That's what people were saying about Patrick Mahomes, but yeah.
Okay. No, but they thought he was going to win 3 and then never do it again.
Also, another mini storyline I love just from a football soccer background is the fact that he's doing it for his home state, and I think Cincinnati. I think it's closer to him rather than Cleveland. So I think that would technically be his local team. He was a Cleveland
fan. So
was he a Cleveland fan?
Yeah, there's pictures of him in the stadium. I think he went with his dad or something like that. There's a picture of him.
Okay, close enough. Damn it.
That makes it even better, I think, to be fair.
Oh yeah, that is funny. That is really funny. Oh, that is good.
You had the chance. You stuck with Baker. You stuck with Baker. Baker played you out of getting Joe Burrow. That's what it was.
And do you remember where Joe Burrow was before he went to LSU?
Ohio State.
Yeah. And do you remember who he was in a battle with? Who's that?
Haskins.
I can't remember if it was Haskins or
no, it was Haskins.
Fields. Was it Haskins or Fields? Was it Haskins?
Yeah, it was Haskins. I think Fields might have been there, but he wasn't the one he was battling with. He was battling with Haskins.
And the final question I asked on that: do you remember who the head coach was back then?
Urban. Your boy fumbled so many bags. So many bags.
Not my boy. I'm just saying he's not my boy. He was not my boy. Although some Florida Gator fans would object to that, but he's not my boy. He's not my boy. He does not speak for me. I just had to put that in. So saying all that, although if New England do win a championship with Mac Jones, just remember he's a Jags fan. He probably was there. You see him, quite a few pictures of him in a Jags jersey at playoff games, and probably the one where we beat the Bills. But yeah, just saying.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
Just want to put that out there. He's a Jags boy.
Good luck to the Bengals.
I wouldn't be upset. I genuinely wouldn't be upset if they lose. If they win, sorry. I would of course I would lose this and I'll be a bit annoyed, but I would not be upset if Bengals win. That'll be scenes.
I want the Bengals. No, I can't say that. I just want Odell to have a good game and it'll be a good game. And I want myself to win and be proved right. That's what it is.
Right about what?
About who I picked in my teams when we started off the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that's
Some
fair.
of them let me down. Some of them let me down severely. But
yeah, I was really happy how I drafted it. If the Bengals win, cool. I'll draw my hands up, cool. That's fine. but I was really happy with how I drafted. But yeah.
But most importantly, I want a good game, unlike some of them that we've had in recent years.
Are we going to go into overtime? Is it going to be a one-possession game? Are we going to go into overtime?
Every year I say no, right? Every year I say no, but this might be the game which, because that's the Bengals' way of winning, isn't it? Like in these playoffs, that is to go into overtime. So I'm going to say yes, because the games in which I thought were not going to go into overtime turned out to be terrible games and went into overtime. So I'm going to say yes.
Fair. Cool. Right. I'll chat to you once we have the Super Bowl winner for this year.
When I become two-time Third Atlantic champion.
You're the OC, I'm the Jason Bell of it. Sure, I love Jason. That's fine. Cool. Right. Peace.